Yo, what is up, YouTube? So a lot of people are worried about layoffs right now, especially with Meta and Amazon making big announcements in the last couple of weeks. And I don't know if things are going to be looking any better for 2023. So it's very understandable that a lot of people are concerned. Are their jobs going to be safe? Should they start looking for a plan B? And so I came across this thread of someone who posted about their situation, and we're going to try to help a brother out. So let's jump right into the post. So the title of the post says, "Worried about layoffs." Looks like the guy works at DoorDash, and he goes, "Wife has already gotten laid off." Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. He says, "I have an offer from a small, stable company, but lower total comp. Should I move now?" He says that his current total comp is 420K, and his new total comp will be 330K. Wow, that's a pretty significant drop. What is that, roughly 90K? So, man, 25% cut. That's not easy. Especially if you have kids. He goes, "New company also doesn't offer any RSUs, restricted stock units. If the market goes up, my total comp at the new company won't change, but at DoorDash, I can make more. But the market can go even lower, or I might get laid off." Yeah, that's true. It's definitely a possibility. He says, "I'm not on a visa," so it sounds like he is a US citizen. And he says that he has enough cash savings for a few months, but we were hoping to buy a house, which will use up that savings. Oof. All right. So a couple things to consider and think about. Number one, why do you want to buy a house right now? Especially with the rates being up where it is. I think the last time I checked, it was like 7.5%. So if you're buying a house, I mean, that's an extra couple $100 a month in mortgage payments that you're going to have to pay on interest. So, buying a house in this economy, I just don't know if now is the best time for that. He also said that he's making 420K a year, but he's only got enough cash savings for a few months. If he and his wife were both working, they say that anywhere from having 6 to 12 months of emergency savings to cover your rent, your food, your car payment, your insurance, all the daily necessities that need to be covered. And if he's only got savings for a few months, then that's definitely a concern, especially if he has kids and family. But for now, I'm just going to assume that it's a couple without any kids. He also says that the comp at the new company won't change, but he's obviously making more at DoorDash, but the risk is higher. Yeah, I don't know too much about DoorDash. Now, when I think about their business model, right? I mean, they make money every time someone orders an item from a local restaurant. The driver goes out, picks it up, and then they get a small, tip or service fee. A small portion of it goes to DoorDash. From a consumer standpoint, if the economy is going to be tough, as the price of food goes up with inflation, and as the economy just getting a little bit more rocky, I do think that DoorDash's operating revenue, I think, could be impacted by this, especially because, as times get tougher, people start to naturally cut down on non-essentials. And to me, I don't know how it is for you guys out there, but to me, paying $5, $6, $7 extra to have someone deliver food to my house, whereas I can just go pick it up or have my housemate or someone in my family pick it up, or me just driving there and picking it up myself, I would probably do more of that rather than, pay extra to get things delivered. Right? Sometimes convenience is nice to have, but when you need to make some drastic cuts in your budget, getting DoorDash is probably the first thing or one of the first things to go. Now, I could be wrong. I think there's probably a huge consumer base out there that likes the convenience, and for them, money is time. But, I think DoorDash could definitely be impacted along with other companies like Uber Eats and Postmates and some of these other delivery services, just because it's such a crowded market anyways. And really, I don't know what their operating margins are. I can't imagine it's huge. I know that they're constantly having to spend money to attract and retain customers with, $5 off DoorDash or other types of promos and deals to get new people to sign up or their existing customer base to stay. And so I think they're burning through cash. And as times get rougher, if things aren't looking good for their company and their bottom line, then they definitely may have some more cuts. Now, he doesn't talk about the smaller stable company. Let's just assume that it's stable and that the chance of him getting cut is very, very small. Then that's where this pivot from DoorDash to a smaller company might make sense. Taking a 25% pay cut is significant, but the fact that he's already making 420K, 330K is still nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that's still, he doesn't mention where he's living. I'm going to assume, no, I can't assume, but let's just assume that this is in the United States because, I think 330K for a senior engineer or a software developer makes a lot of sense. That's still a lot. You can still support a family of two, assuming you're not going crazy on, dining out and, ordering DoorDash. Well, you probably get credits, so you probably don't need to spend too much on that. But also, if you don't have too many other expenses, car payments and things of that nature, you can always cut those things out. So, you should be able to support a couple or even a small family of 3 with 330K easily. And if that gives you a peace of mind where you know that you can sleep at night and you can still have free time and a work-life balance to spend time on your family and those kinds of things, then this move might make a lot of sense. Now, I will say on the flip side, going from an established company like DoorDash to a smaller, more stable company might bring more hours. You might have to work harder. Typically in a startup, you just have to wear a lot more hats, right? That's just sort of the nature of the beast. And so if you are having to spend more time at work, working for a startup, that's also something to consider. So it's hard for me to really give you an exact path forward, but based on what you've provided so far, and assuming that you have 1 or 2 people to take care of, I don't think this is going to be too much of a cut for you. But 20-25%, you're going to have to adjust your standard of living. You might have to eat out once or twice less every week, and you might have to cut down on your Netflix or your Disney Plus or whatever that is to make ends meet, or to have enough of a cushion, because you said that you only have enough cash savings for a few months, right? And so worst case scenario, you lose your job and the market gets really tough and you're not able to find something for 6 or 8 months, then you might have to take out a loan. You might have to go to your family or your friends to make ends meet. And I know how much stress that can put on a human being. And so if it gives you that peace of mind to go to a smaller company where you know that they're going to be rock solid for the next couple of years, then I think this move makes sense. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this guy's situation. Do you think that he should take the offer and go to a smaller company where it's much more stable? Or do you think he should stay where he is, or maybe even continue to interview and look out for other opportunities? Drop your comments down below, like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.